Good morning, good morning. How are you, everybody? It's such a pleasure to see you here, if you are here already, or it's a pleasure to see you watching this on a replay if you are watching. But regardless if you're watching me live or if you're watching me on a replay, please do let me know where you're joining me from. I'm definitely excited to bring you more value today. Um, Q&A. Typically, as you know, we would be doing with Cristina Davy our hot and spicy episode today on dating and relationships, but unfortunately, we're not able to do it together, so it'll be just myself. I hope you're happy. Anyways, we will talk today about a couple of things when it comes to relationships, and I must say there are two questions which I'm asked very often. I will start with the one. First one is about how do I attract my soulmate? How do I attract the one? How do I attract the partner into my life? So, of course, we cannot talk much about relationships if we don't have a relationship, okay? So, here let's talk now. How do we attract that partner of your dreams? And first things first, you got to understand that you attract what you are. Okay, I hear very often people saying like, "Oh, I attracted somebody, but they were not at my level." Okay, I attracted somebody, but they were not the right person, or I attracted somebody, but there was such and such. Well, let me remind you one thing, okay, that actually you attract, okay, you always attract somebody at your level. You always attract somebody who actually is matching you. Why? Simply because you attract what you um what you vibrate. You attract what you vibrate, right? You attract what actually you share when it comes to yourself. You attract something that actually is there projected from you to the world. I'm sorry, you're right now probably seeing me flickering between the names for today's episode, just because we had very sudden change with Christina and I forgot to change the writing. So that's why you see all different names. But in any case, most important thing for you to remember that you always attract at the level that you vibrate. So if you tell me that I attracted them, but they were not the right person, well, that means you're projecting not the right person. If you attract somebody who's not at your level, that means they are at your level, but probably you don't like the level that you are at, and that's why you don't like what they mirror to you. Okay? So that's why it's really important to always work on yourself, on what do you project, on what do you vibrate in order for you to manifest somebody what you want. And here are a couple of tips I'll give you that will definitely help you. It definitely helped me every single time. It definitely helps all my clients. So please go ahead and use them, okay? First things first, you got to be really specific with what do you want, okay? Be really specific. I don't mean right now their height or eye color or their look, okay? Be specific about their qualities. Be specific about what this person should possess as a quality, right? Do you want them to be well educated? Do you want them to be well traveled? Do you want them to be flexible with their work, right? Think about qualities, think about things about the person. Don't think so specifically about their height because sometimes we can be too hang on about the height and we don't allow ourselves to think creatively, okay? Of course, like if for you height is a thing, like for me it is, and you definitely want somebody taller than you, then yeah, sure, of course it's important, right? But say like I want somebody who is, I don't know, 195 centimeters. It's like, what, you're gonna walk around with a ruler? Well, you will not, right? So in that case, please make sure you list as many qualities as you can, okay? Don't forget about things like honesty, like loyalty, like a good communicator, okay? You got to address all those obvious stuff as well. It's like almost you're doing shopping on Amazon, okay? And you're buying something, you want to be specific with what you're buying. Otherwise, you're going to receive your parcel and there'll be some missing parts in that parcel. You don't want that, okay? So ensure you actually list all the qualities and all the attributes about the person that you're willing to have in your life. Second step is for you to have a look at yourself, okay? To have a really good look at yourself and the list and ask yourself, Are you that? Are you that you expect? I remember I had a client who was lesbian. She still is, but she was my client in the past, and she said she just broke up with her girlfriend at the time, and she was wanted to move on, and she was struggling, as we all do, right? And she was like, "Okay, I don't even know what to do now. I don't think so. I'll find somebody, this and that, like all the thoughts we all have." Okay, I reassured her that look, everybody has somebody in the world. Okay, it's just a matter of attracting them. If you don't have them yet, that means you have some relationship blocks that we're gonna figure out. Okay, but we're gonna start with first things first. So let's like create a list. She created her list, and I remember one of the things that she mentioned was I want her to be quite interesting. I want her to have lots of hobbies and, to be busy with your own life because typically I will get with somebody and then it will be interesting in the beginning, but then later on will be boring. Okay. So I don't want the same to happen again. So I want her to be quite interesting person, to have all the hobbies and all that stuff. Okay. So I did the same thing with her as I just suggested to you. Have a good look at yourself and the list and ask yourself, are you that? So she does that and she says, oh my God, I don't have any hobbies. I don't have anything. I just go to work and I go home. That's it. And I was like, oh. So it might be not all your previous partners that the issue was with, but no, it was yourself, right? So this is a very typical example how sometimes we want something from other partners because we don't have it. But if you don't have it, how dare are you to expect it? How dare are you? Okay, so second thing, look at the list, look at yourself, and ask yourself, do I have these attributes? Am I honest? Am I loyal? Am I committed? Am I such and such? Okay, if you're not, start working on it. Start working on it because you can't demand that you can't offer. Okay, a relationship is an exchange. It is always an exchange. It's a two-way motorway. It takes two to tango. There are lots of expressions. Okay, but you got to be mindful that you can't demand that you can't give. Okay, so that's second thing. You have a look at the list at yourself and you start practicing being that person. Start working on yourself being that person to match your own list. So obviously you can vibrate at that level of that particular list. Okay. Next thing what you have to do is to actually start practicing living your life as if that partner is already in your life. Like in your life. Okay. So regardless of what this says in the list, you go to practice that I already have my boyfriend, partner, husband, whatever you can refer to. Okay. I already have them in life. So what would your life look like? And here it's really important to watch out for emotions and feelings that actually come up when you think about it. So, for example, if you think like, okay, let's imagine I already have this amazing, gorgeous, fabulous partner that I create on a paper in my life. They're already here. What would I do today? Where would I go? How would I wake up knowing I already have them in my life? Okay, well, they could be at work, they could be traveling, they could be there in your life, but just not with you at the time. Okay, so how would you wake up? Would you wake up negatively thinking, oh, I still don't have a partner? Or would you wake up with excitement thinking, oh, let me just message them, good morning, right? And if that's the case, okay, in that case, I don't know, on a WhatsApp, you can message yourself, for example, and start practicing sending good morning messages if you want to. Well, that's the way how, for example, I send myself lots of different messages if I don't want them to be forgotten or, somebody might as whatever else, okay? Or maybe you will start writing love notes. Well, then write a love note for your partner. Or maybe you would love once in a while to write a letter to your partner. Well, then write a letter. You can write down, my dear partner, and address it to your partner, okay? But start living your life like you already have your partner, okay? And it's possible, of course, to think for you sometimes like, yeah, but they're not here. What do I do? Well, just tell yourself, my partner right now is traveling for work or they are back at their parents or whatever, but I'm still very, 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 very happy that I have them in my life, okay? So if you would have your partner, and let's say they did go to their parents, they did go out with their friends, what would you do instead? You wouldn't sit and sulk, right? You would go to see your friends, or you would go see your parents, or you would go do something else. So do whatever you would do if you already have your partner in your life and they are just busy at the time. Okay? And whilst you do that, what is really important to do is to watch out for any limitations and any beliefs that actually come up for you. It's a picture right now I don't have with me because I'm on my travels right now. Relationship Oracle. Because that product which I created, and I will definitely share details below this video, that specific product allows you to address the most vital and fundamental relationship beliefs. Okay? Because why do we need to address them? So let's say you really want to have a relationship. Okay? You really are doing everything to manifest your relationship. Okay? And we can talk forever about it. Seriously, I have so much content about this. So let's say you really want to do it. And then what happens? You do one step forward towards that. You create the list, you start living your life like you already have the partner, you start imagining, you start the feeling, you start the visualization, all that, like everything works really well. And at the same time, if you believe that being in the relationship means you are losing your freedom, you will either not attract your partner or you will attract a control freak. Because your story is you're going to lose your freedom. Okay? So, what you got to do is, whilst you imagine having a partner, you got to ask yourself, how do I feel when I have my partner? How does it feel like? What the experience like? Okay? What comes up for me? Right? I remember one of my biggest fears was actually losing the freedom. Okay? That was one of the biggest ones. Okay. The second belief was that when I'm in a relationship, I cannot do what I want. I can't travel. I can't work. I cannot do this. I cannot do that. Another belief, and trust me, you will have like 158 beliefs probably. Okay. Because I had probably more than that. Okay. So another one belief which I had was I always had more fun when I travel on my own. Guess what type of partners I was attracting? Either those that did not like traveling. I know it's bizarre, but yeah, there are people like that. Or I would attract those with whom I would really have less fun and traveling would be miserable because of my own belief. Okay. So I had to shift that to I have even more fun with my partner when we travel because I love traveling. I still want to travel. Okay. So it was a matter of shifting that. Right. So you got to find out what are your fundamental, deeply rooted beliefs and programming about relationships. The easiest way, the absolutely easiest way, is definitely to do it through Relationship Oracle, which I created. Okay, that's the easiest way because all you have to do in that case is just to answer simple questions which are right there in the Oracle. It is designed in a way for you to simply answer those questions in a very simplistic way and pull out as many beliefs as possible. It's phenomenal. It really is phenomenal. And the reason why I praise it so much, of course, not only because I created that, in fact, it was a divine download through my meditation. Okay, that's how powerful it is. It was divine download through my meditation. It was ages ago now. And when I downloaded that, I thought, wow, okay, that sounds great, including the name, because exactly that name, Relationship Oracle, came up. Okay. And I thought, wow, that's truly unique. Okay. Have never came across anything like that. And then I thought, okay, before launch it, in fact, it's not even online yet officially because I didn't have time to officially announce that, but all of my clients already have it because I said to them and they were like, oh, I want it, I want it, I want it. Okay. So then I said to myself, okay, I want to test it. Before I launch it, I want to test it. Okay. That's exactly what I have done. I sat down one evening, and that was at the time when I was going through a really challenging time with my ex-husband now, because I found out for the third time he's still cheating on me. And I thought to myself, okay, it's not him anymore, Olga, it's you, because what are you still doing in this relationship? Okay. So I sat down and I thought, okay, let me in that case just download what I have about relationship blueprint that actually keeps me stuck in this relationship. Why I can't move on? Okay. What's wrong with me? So I sat down and I answered all the questions within my own product. Obviously, it wasn't launched then. It was just on a piece of paper, little scribbles as a result of the meditation. And I was shocked. I was shocked because that was the night. That was the night when I understood why I could not leave my husband despite what he was doing through the entire relationship. And the reason why I wasn't able to leave my husband because of what he was doing through the entire relationship, because I had intergenerational trauma, addiction, which was about picking and choosing addicted men who refused to change. Here's a twist: who refuse to change. There are lots of people with lots of addictions. Very often we think addictions are drugs, alcohol, cigarettes. There are more addictions than that. Lying is an addiction. Cheating is an addiction. They all come from insecurities. They all come from trying to numb some of your crap. Okay, let's admit it. But the truth is, you got to address them. You got to be willing to change, right? Like if you speak to alcoholic and you're like, well, why do you keep drinking? Oh, because I like it. Or because I cannot stop. Well, if you would want to stop, you would stop. Okay? We have addiction to negativity. We have addiction to gossiping. We have addiction to social media. There's so many addictions. Okay? And it's okay to have an addiction because there are also positive addictions. My addiction is learning. I'm learning. Okay, that's my addiction. My another addiction is traveling. I love traveling. Okay, I'm addicted to traveling. Okay, so there could be positive addictions, there could be negative addictions. Okay, but my addiction was drama. I apparently was addicted to drama, which comes along really handy with addicted men who are not willing to change. And this is how I discovered that, because one of the last questions within this relationship oracle is about reflecting on your childhood. Okay, this is you write down all the memories and everything what you remember about your relationships. Okay, and what you have seen, what you have observed, what you have learned about relationships. And as I wrote down, well, my mom was married to alcoholic. Um, there was no love. There was fighting and arguments, and then she got divorced to him. She married another one. He also was an alcoholic. Oh yeah, that was challenging. I'm like, okay, I'm not clicking here yet. I'm not clicking here yet. Then I went back to my grandmother. Well, she was married to alcoholic. He never really changed. He also died, just like my stepfather died. Oh, just like my stepfather number 2 died. Okay. Yeah. Granddad also died. Okay. Yeah. And then what I realized that despite all of these people who were alcohol addicted, they died. My mom and my grandmother, they would be still sometimes reminding themselves or ourselves or somebody else how unhappy their life was through being with these people, right? And this is when I realized that, well, first of all, they could leave them. Okay, the time was different. Okay, divorce rate was not as high in the Soviet time, especially. And those who know a little bit about post-Soviet countries, you know, judgment in our countries is like through the roof. Okay, right now, divorce is normalized more or less. Okay, but back then, at my grandmother's age, or time when she was younger, it was not acceptable. Even at my mom's age, when she was divorcing my first stepfather, and the reason why she was married to my stepfather because my dad died before I was even born. Okay, so even when my mom was divorcing, even then, the judgment about divorce was skyrocketing through the roof. Okay, so people were always worried more about what would other people think rather am I happy. Okay, so the point is, where I'm leading with this, that generationally, we women in my family, we would pick addicted men because we needed the drama. Okay, we were addicted to drama. Fun enough, through our entire lives, we even call our grandmother as drama queen. Okay, that's how deep it is. So now right now probably it's too much information for you, but I really want to be transparent in order for you to feel relatable to this and in order for you to think, where are my patterns coming from? Okay, so that night, as I wrote down all the situations with my mom, with my grandmother, and I look at the pattern is women picking addicted men who refuse to change. Who refuse to change. You got to remember that part. Okay, it's okay for people to have addictions as long as they want to change them. Okay, we all have addictions. You have addictions for sure, 100%. Okay, so the point was, okay, women picking addicted men who refuse to change. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I did the same thing. I did the same thing. I picked addicted men. Did I have another choice? Oh, I had plenty of choice. Okay, I could pick another man. I could. In fact, at the time I was seeing somebody else when I met Manel, so I could pick that guy. But guess what? He had no addiction. And guess what? I had no clue about that. And guess what? That night I also understood why I left my first husband, because he had no addiction. He was normal. He was a good, great guy, okay? Who had no addiction. That means he did not give me any drama, okay? So that meant, now going back to the situation, me writing down in my bed, reflecting on all this, that if I picked an addicted man who refused to change, that means the only one option I have now is to wait for him to die, because that's exactly what happened in both cases with my grandmother and mother. And then, still after his death, complain and just blame him for my unhappiness because of what happened to them. Right? It's a pattern. And subconsciously, that's my normality. So I have to repeat that pattern. That night, it was over. It was that night when I realized I'm done. I don't want to be a widow of an addicted man. Plus, of course, we had 18 years difference. So for me to be a widow was very high chances. Okay. So that's openly and transparently how sometimes, despite we really, really, really want to make relationship work, if we have a limitation, if we have a paradigm, if we have a blueprint that is not allowing us to pick a healthy partner. Yes, Loai, I broke the chain. Exactly. Yes. So if we pick a partner that is matching our faulty or broken record, we're going to be going in patterns again, again, again. So what you're going to do, just like I says, you got to break the chain. Okay. I remember when that night was nighttime, realized that I stood up. My whole body was going through a phenomenal transformation. I could feel almost like the story shifted and left my body, because whole my body was just vibrating. I had to do some jumping. It was about 2 a.m. by the time, okay? I had to do some humming. I had to do some tapping. I had to calm down my nervous system, because something humongous, something fundamental, something so deeply rooted was finally elevated, okay? So that's why this product, Relationship Oracle, is so powerful. That night, decision was made. I'm launching my Relationship Oracle. Okay, that's why now it's launched. Unfortunately, I have it with me now. Usually, I would show it to the screen. But if you're curious, drop me a message. I'm more than happy to post it to you. You will definitely love it. But you got to find out, what are your relationship stories, what are your relationship paradigms. And everybody so far, whoever did this Relationship Oracle, literally everybody, apart from one couple, and I'll go to this couple at some point now, they all say, wow. 5 simple questions, only 5 simple questions. But because you have to write down as much as possible in the beginning, of course, what comes out? Beautiful nonsense is how I'd call it. Because your logic will tell you, like, oh yeah, relationship is something nice. Relationship is this, relationship is that. No, you have to dive deeper. Okay, you got to dive to the point where fears come out, where limitations come out, where something that doesn't allow you to be in a relationship comes out. Okay. Only one couple so far, because also couples can do it, of course, one for each other, right? For themselves. And only one couple so far came back to me saying, Olga, you know what? We did that. And we really tried our best to answer for all the questions. But you know what? Nothing negative comes up and we don't know what's wrong. And I was like, guys, amount of work you have done on yourself and your relationship, and looking at your relationship now, which honestly, they had such a beautiful, such an incredible story. They are such a power couple. They overcame so much together. Okay, they healed and shifted so many blueprints when it comes to relationship, negative stories, negative paradigms, that it was not even shocking to me that everything was positive, because they are right now in the most incredible relationship ever. Okay, so far there was only one couple. I'm sure if there's going to be anybody else sharing with me that actually nothing negative came up, because I dare you, you're not going to have that. I dare you. Okay. So what you're going to do, regardless if you have relationship oracle or not, of course it's easier with that because already questions are there. But what you're going to do, as we already reflected on, you having the list, you imagine your life like you already have your partner. You got to start hearing and feeling what is coming up for you when you are in a relationship. Okay, listen to those limitations, listen to those stories, as I already gave a couple of examples, and change them, shift them, transform them into those that will actually help you going forward with your relationship. Okay? Whilst you do that, I really want to give you as much value as possible. That's why we're not going to go to the second question. We're going to definitely tackle this one. Okay? Whilst you do that, whilst you imagine your partner being in your life, you're listening to your negative stories, you're matching yourself to the partner you want to have. Okay? Ask yourself, literally just right now, if you're single, look around your place. I know if you're in the bedroom, if you're in the kitchen, if you're in the bathroom, I don't care where you are, okay? But look around your home and ask yourself, do I have a space for my partner? Literally. Do I have a space for my partner? I kid you not. Amount of people who have no physical space for their partners because their home is cluttered and yet they expect a partner to come is ridiculous. It's ridiculous, okay? If you really want to attract a partner into your life, you got to create a physical space for them. What does it mean? You have a bed. I'm sure you probably sleep like a starfish at some point, okay? But I'm sure you also have your side, which means the other side would be, there we go, Lorraine. Yes, the empty drawer, it worked. 4 years ago, you told me that. Oh, bless you, darling. Thank you so much for sharing that. See, oh, please tell me, what else did you do? Please, I want everybody right now to go to YouTube and to watch this comment, the empty drawer. I was just about to say that, okay? So you look at your bed, you have your side, and you have your partner's side, okay? Look at that bedside table. If you don't have it, why not? By feng shui, and I'm not sure how much you know about feng shui, you got to have two matching sets of bedside drawers, two matching lamps as well. Okay, you don't want your lamp to be taller than theirs or your bedside cupboard being taller than theirs. Why? Because it means you're going to be overpowering them. Okay, or other way around. Okay, so you got to have two matching bedside tables, two matching lamps, and whatever else. Okay, you got to have two pillows on your bed, one for you, one for them. Okay, if you have cushions, have two as well. Relationship is about two. Okay, so you got to have everything in twos. Okay, so when it comes to, as Laura says, bedside table, empty drawer, create space for them. Just imagine, just literally imagine, okay? Your partner right now is standing with a little suitcase outside of your door, ready to come and stay overnight. Where the hell they're gonna put their stuff in, right? Where will they put their torches in the bathroom, right? Where in a wardrobe they're gonna put their stuff? Do they have empty hangers or anything else? Okay, you got to really create that space. Got to really create that space. I see the comment here from Y. It worked 4 years ago. I attracted an amazing woman. Great. Even we share the same birthday. Oh my God. Our relationship, let me actually share it with you there. Our relationship didn't continue, but we are still great friends. One of the most amazing women I have ever met. See? Okay. So you attracted her. That means you're on the right track. She was just a sign. That's something that I wasn't wanted to tell later on, but I'll say it now. Okay. But before we finish about the creating space, create the space because your partner has to have space where to put the stuff. Okay. If you want them to come into your life, you got to do that. You really got to do that. Okay. Because then when you're going to attract a partner, and I'll say this now. Okay. Then when you eventually will attract the partner, okay, you got to have a look. What have I missed in my list? Because remember, everybody who's coming into your life, they're there because your soul is attracting them and they're attracting you. You attract each other to learn from each other. Okay? So, first thing first, what have you missed on your list that is missing in this partner? And that's why things are not working out. Okay? When I went back to my list, when I divorced my ex-husband, that was my first time when I had a look at the list. And I realized I forgot to add loyalty and honesty. Duh. So I got exactly what I ordered. I ordered a great guy who just was not loyal or honest. But guess what? Because I did not write it on the list. Okay? So I cannot even blame him. Okay, he did what he did. But the reality is, I forgot to add it to my list. Okay? So I would like to invite you right now, Loai, just to have a look at that list, which you had, if you had it. If you didn't, then create a new one, right? And just ask yourself, what have I forgot to add to my list? Okay? that was not within this amazing woman that you attracted. Okay, clearly she's great because you're still friends. Okay, but what have you forgotten to add? The relationship would work out. Okay, and then watch out what happens because you will start meeting people and you have to learn from them. You have to learn because every single person comes to you with a lesson. Okay, they either come to you for the rest of your life, which of course something everybody wants, or they come for a short while, but they're definitely coming to teach you a lesson. And most importantly, and I would like to highlight that, I would like to scream my lungs about it from the top of the mountain, okay? Kilimanjaro. Um, every partner that comes into your life, they're there to help you heal your deepest childhood traumas. I said what I said. So when somebody new comes along and they trigger something within you, you got to ask yourself, why am I reacting that way? I have the most powerful, it's called frustrations dialogue. It is the most powerful tool that helps you discover what childhood trauma your frustration about your partner is related to. Okay, reach out to me, I'll send it to you, and I'm going to charge you for that free, for a gift. Okay, but it's the most powerful tool because every single time when you have a frustration, all you have to do, just do this dialogue. And this is when you see where is it coming from. Because I can guarantee you one thing. People will trigger you, that will make you overreact. They will do all sorts of things. It's not because of them. It's because of you. Because you have something unresolved about that particular thing. About that particular thing. Okay, and you got to remember, it's not about them, it's about you. You got to heal that. Okay, there's another comment. Let me just see. Our future didn't align. Ha, there we go. I wanted a family and children. She already had everything and don't need more than a boyfriend. So I forgot to add, have a wife and children. Oh my God. Thank you so much for sharing that. See, perfect, perfect example how it works. Okay, but you got to add things that you really want. So she came to you as a sign from the universe that your partner is on the way because you like her, because she was amazing, because you still have friends, everything was amazing. So your partner is on the way, but you got to adjust the settings for the arrival. You got to adjust the contents of the box if you wish. Okay, so now I hope you did go back to the list and I hope you did amend it and I hope you did add those things that you want to have a wife and children. Okay, so I hope it helps. I know we're already over half an hour, but I'm just so passionate about that. That's probably you can tell, right? But you got to remember that whatever your new partner is bringing along, okay, that's for you to heal. And I'll give an example here, so at least you have something to work with. Okay, so for example, if you are with this new partner and they trigger within you something, let's say, what example can I give you? Oh, I'll give example of my recent client actually as well. So her trigger was, it was from the husband, but still, her trigger was that her husband was not cutting bushes in the garden, as well as not changing the light in their bedroom, the lamp, the bulb. Okay. And she was all furious. She's all this. She's like, oh my God, I cannot believe it. He doesn't take care of that. I'm like, what do I do? How do I do it in a more feminine way? Because we're working with her on feminine masculine. She was very masculine before. Now she's transitioning into being more feminine. So like, okay, how do I do it? You know, how do I approach it and what do I do it? And I actually just took her on a journey through that powerful tool, okay, that I mentioned earlier on. And what we have discovered, that was profound. What we have discovered, her saying that her husband is not cutting bushes or changing a light bulb in their bedroom was nothing to do with bushes or light bulb. Okay? That was all to do with her feeling like he doesn't care about her. That he doesn't care about her because that was coming from her childhood. And the fear was the fear of abandonment. Because if he doesn't care about her, that means he will leave her one day. Okay? So, was it about bushes? No, it wasn't. Was it about light bulb? No, it wasn't. Guess what happened? Literally, we have the next session. She tells me, Olga, he changed the light bulb. I did not even say anything to him. It's been weeks, her suffering with that light bulb, right? And then suddenly he just changed it, right? But just took a little bit longer, okay? But also that was resolved eventually, okay? So you got to remember whatever you are triggered about when it comes to your partners, that's because it's time for you to heal, okay? It's time for you to heal. You got to remember that. Okay, I have here a really long message. Let me read that. Being in love is one thing, but when uncertainties come up and you need a lot of answers, the urge is endless until you get some. I used to be badly in love because he treated me well, although the years of our marriage, till some time ago, I started not. Let me just go. That's from Florence, by the way. Let me just read it here because not the entire question is there shown on the screen. Wife and children. Florence, thank you so much for actually sharing your comment here. Oh, come on, go down. There we go. I used to be badly in love because he treated me well. And through the years of our marriage, till some time ago, I started noticing his late nights and calls, and I needed answers. My cousin got me in contact with a hacker. They got me access to his live location all the time, his messages and social media accounts. I could access directly from my phone. I found all his real truths, and I'm finally free. Okay, I wonder if that actually is spam. Probably it is. Let me just delete that. We don't want any spam messages here, darlings. And I guess this is spam. In any case, so what's important to remember, spammers will be always there. Because why would somebody promote another person on life of somebody else? That's really bizarre. So what you got to remember, guys, that whenever you attract somebody that is right there, okay, and they actually are triggering you with something, they actually are sharing some information, not sharing some information, but they're bringing something for you and you're feeling triggered, you're feeling like, oh my God, it's too much to deal with or something else. That's because that's their job to me trying to remove the comment. Sorry about that. That was me trying to remove the comment about this potentially spammer. I'm not sure if it's spam or not. But yeah, remember, whenever you attract somebody and they are triggering you, they're bringing something within you, your insecurities, these are your insecurities. Your paranoia, this is your paranoia. Your fears, these are your fears. You go to deal with them. You cannot demand from somebody help you deal with your confidence. That's not their job. They're not your therapist. They're not your coach. Okay, they are not your coach. You got to give them space to be just your partner. That's really important, okay? Laura says, we know that attraction does not differentiate between desire and fear. So how do I control this attraction, not to focus on my fear and insecurities and send me something I don't want? This is hard. Oh my God, I just started talking about that. This is how everything is aligned, okay? So yes, you're spot on, okay? We attract what we're afraid of, period. We attract what we're afraid of because fear is a very strong emotion. And why do we attract what we fear of more than what we want? Because we attract what we feel. Listen to this again. We attract what we feel. Okay? So if you want to attract something that you want, you got to focus on the feeling of what you want. Because if you focus on what you're afraid of, you're going to get it. I can guarantee you that you're going to get it. 100%, you're going to get it. Okay, so I know it's really difficult to go from I don't have a relationship or I don't want to be heard, I really don't want to be heard, I really don't want to be heard, to I'm so happy and joyful in my relationship. Yeah, I get it, it's difficult. Okay, so don't go so drastically from I don't want to be heard to I'm happy in my relationship. It's a huge gap. Okay, but you clearly can start with it feels so good knowing one day I will have the most amazing partner. It feels really amazing knowing my partner is on the way. And I have seen so many signs about that because, and you list the signs. It feels amazing knowing that as I work on myself, my partner is preparing themselves for our union too. It feels so good knowing that one day we'll be so happy together. It feels so good. It feels amazing knowing that I know exactly what type of partner I want. It feels so good knowing that I am becoming the partner I want. And then you take it from here into more in the now, in the present, okay? Because obviously you want to play a scenario like the partner is already in your life. It feels amazing knowing I have my dream partner in my life now. I know they're busy right now. I know they're traveling or they're with their friends, but it feels amazing knowing they're here. I feel so happy with a partner who is, and you can list all your qualities. It feels so good. Well, with my partner, we do whatever you listed in your list. Travel together, have dinners together, go to theater together, whatever it is. Okay? So can you see, you don't start with, I'm so happy when you're simply afraid, okay? You start with something that is very mild, very small, something achievable, something that you can relate to, okay? And you build it up. You simply build it up, okay? And I would like to highlight something for you here. If you say this is hard, it's going to be hard. I said what I said. If you believe it's hard, it is going to be hard. One of my favorite affirmations I said every single day, and I love saying that, is everything is easy peasy for me. Go ahead and use it. Okay. I walk around when I do my walks and like everything is easy peasy for me, especially when I'm expecting something to happen. Like everything is easy peasy for me. Everything is easy peasy for me. Everything is so easy peasy for me in my life. Okay. If you expect things to be hard, they're going to be hard. You got to expect things to be easy. That comes to your job, that comes to your relationship, that comes to your self-care, anything, regardless what is in your life. If you expect things to be hard, they're going to be hard. You got to shift it to things are easy. Okay. So as you do all this, how I feel now that you are feeling great with your new partner, that you feel so proud of yourself doing all that work on yourself, that you are so ecstatic because, oh my God, everything you ever wanted on that list is exactly here within my partner, right? You got to look at it was easy. It was easy. Okay. Oh, I oh look at that, what you're saying here. Oh, thank you so much. I actually would like to thank you for participating so nicely today. So what I say here, insecurity, mistrust. Okay, let me tell you first thing first. This is your problem. I said what I said. This is your problem. Okay? Mistrust is not something they can help you with. You will simply attract people who will give you even more mistrust. Okay? The question is how to avoid it. You got to trust yourself first. I get it. At some point, somebody broke your trust, and this is how now you're not trusting. Hello? I've been with a husband who was cheating on me for 3 years in a row. Does it mean now every man I should look at and not trust them? That's not fair on them. Okay? But if I attracted somebody like that, what does it mean? What does it tell me? What does it tell me about myself? I was not trusting my own judgment. I was not trusting my own intuition. I was not trusting myself. That's why I said this is your problem. It's not their problem. Of course, yeah, they should not be coming into the relationship if they don't really want to be in a relationship. I agree with you. I totally agree with you. But guess what? People who are insecure and who are cheating, and by the way, there's so many forms of cheating. There's so many forms of cheating, not only just physical as in sexual. There's financial cheating. There's many types of cheating. Okay, so if you were let down before, that's because you attracted that type of partner. You attracted that type of partner because there's something within you that tells you to attract that type of partner. It could be your block, could be you not trusting yourself, could be you're not connected to yourself, not listening to your intuition. Okay, it could be anything. But your insecurity of not being able to trust other people, this is your problem. This is not their problem. And this is your problem to fix now and today. Otherwise, you're going to attract more and more people who will show you that you cannot trust. Okay, you will have more and more people like that. Oh, lol. What are you laughing about that? I don't like where this is going. I know you don't. I know you don't. But and seriously, all my clients they hate me when I say this. And typically, those who work with me for a while, whenever I'm like, and where do you think it's coming from? They all know what it means. They're all like, oh, that means it's all coming from me. Yes, it is coming from you, darling. Okay. So I do. I trust myself like I trust fund. Lol, my therapist says I'm too straight, I'm too conscientious, and I should be less uptight. Okay, so if you're uptight, how can you trust? It's like with a client, I had a conversation on Wednesday. When was Wednesday? Oh, yesterday. And she said she was really freaking out because of going to her stepmother with her child, and she was saying to me how her not stepmother, what I'm saying, mother-in-law, her mother-in-law is doing everything wrong when it comes to her child, but everything wrong, everything wrong, everything wrong, and she's worried about going there and what's going to happen, going to be this, going to be that. And when I ask her what's the worst case scenario that will happen when you're there, the worst case scenario, well, nothing really. Yeah, she will do something I don't like, but I'm there only for a week. Not a big deal. I'm like, okay. So is it really her doing everything wrong? Or is it you being control freak? And you should see her eyes. She's like, oh my God, it is definitely me being control freak. Definitely me being control freak. Fun enough, 5 minutes ago, we have a conversation with her about her trying her best to trust the universe and trust the process more. I'm like, oh, so what do you mean? How the control and trust coming together? You either trust or you control, because control is a sign of not trusting. You being uptight, you not being relaxed is a sign of you not trusting. Okay, here's the thing. Trust comes from safety. Okay, funny enough, I'm writing a book on safety. It should be launched soon. Okay, there are 8 types of safety or 8 zones of safety. Okay, and when you don't feel safe in one of them, it could be financial, it could be spiritual, it could be sexual, it could be intellectual, it could be many others. When you don't feel safe in one area or another, this is when you cannot trust, because you need to keep yourself in a bubble. When you keep yourself overprotected and in a bubble, you don't trust. When you don't trust, you attract more of the situations and people that will show you that you cannot trust. It's like, what is the first, chicken or egg? Okay, should you wait for the person who will reassure you can trust? Or, or you should change the story. And I can guarantee you, you should change your own. If so 100%, then she would not tell you that you're uptight. Simple as that. You got to trust yourself more. Okay, ask yourself, am I trusting my intuition? Because very often we think about trust as like in like, oh, they're not gonna cheat on me. Well, clearly you're not gonna cheat on yourself, right? It's kind of hard. You are there all the time. You can't cheat on yourself. Okay? But think about different aspects of your life. Do you trust your opinions? Do you trust your intuition? Do you trust your judgments? Do you trust yourself making the right choice? That's a big one. Okay? Because many people that don't trust themselves making a good choice. Okay? If you don't trust yourself making a good choice, guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna attract people whom you cannot trust, and every single time you will tell yourself, see, I made the wrong choice again. The reason why I'm saying that, because for me, the big thing was about not trusting myself with my financial choices. That's why I know personally about this. Okay. I did not trust myself with my financial choices, and therefore I had literally a really silly behavior pattern that any money I would earn, I would have to spend right away because I would not trust myself with my choices. And my choices were coming from borrowing money to people who would never return it to me. Okay. So before somebody would take my money away, I would have to spend it all because I would not trust my judgment, whom I can borrow, whom I cannot. Okay. So you got to really play with it. But I can guarantee you, if you have that, as you said, mistrust, it comes within you. Everything, absolutely everything comes within ourselves. I would highly invite you, Laura, actually, to come to my Relationship Mastery Intensive, which is going to be now on the 11th of September. It is on every second Wednesday of the month. This is where we break down all the questions about relationships. We go down deep, okay? We go really deep into relationships. And by the way, everybody else, not just Laura, everybody else can come, okay? But this is where we dive really, really, really deep into relationship topic. And we discuss your issues, and I call them bleeding neck problems, okay? Well, we discuss the most top level important issues. Okay, we'll do it openly. It's very transparent conversation. That's why you have seen I don't put any recordings out of these sessions, because I want everything to be strictly confidential. We have the rule: what happens in the event stays at the event. Okay, that's why you haven't seen any recordings of that leaking out there, because I keep it strictly confidential. Okay, because we share a lot there. But it's a really powerful event. It's a monthly event. Come along, and we're gonna break down your relationship issues like there's no tomorrow, and you will see every single time, to the point. To the point. I remember one lady. She said to me at this event, she said, "Olga, okay, I get it. Most things are coming from ourselves. Okay, we project them, and then that's what we're getting them back in order to heal ourselves. Okay, I get it. I was with a narcissist, Olga. What can you tell me about me that I was with a narcissist? Doesn't mean that I'm a narcissist." And I'm like, well, that's okay, a little bit strange behavior there. But I said, okay, let's just dive deeper. What a narcissist is doing, okay? How you felt being with a narcissist. Okay, that's a real life situation at this relationship mastery intensive. She says to me, well, I felt belittled all the time. I felt not important. I felt like they were always building themselves up for the price of myself, of my, their own existence, that everything was always about them, but not her. And it was always about, her being nothing, being nobody, being insignificant, or being whatever else. Okay. So I simply ask her that question. Okay. How much self-worth did you have prior to meeting this guy? How much did you love yourself? How often were you belittling yourself before meeting this guy? She was shocked. She was shocked because that's exactly what she was doing to herself. She did not believe in herself. She thought very small about herself. She was disrespecting herself. She was having very negative self-talk. Then ask her another question. So it took you about a couple of years to be with a narcissist, to get married to him and divorce him, to finally understand that you were your own narcissist towards yourself. This when she put her hands up and said, okay, now I see. Okay. So I understand sometimes it is ugly. Sometimes it is awful. Sometimes it's not pleasant to understand that it was us, not them. And I'll give you this example, and I hope it will relate to so many people. You know the story about my husband now already, or ex-husband, okay? When I realized he was not committed to me, yeah, I could blame him until it turned purple. Yeah, bad boy. Okay. He did what he did. Shagged around Europe with more than 80 women across 3 years of our marriage. Okay, his third marriage fell for the same reason. Well, maybe marriage number 5. I don't even know, because he was lying so much. I don't even know how many marriages he had before me. Okay, as far as I know, there was for him third one, but how do I know? Maybe it was sixth one. So I could complain and I could talk about that and blame him until it's purple. Okay, I can. But instead, I asked myself a question. Okay, how was I not committed to myself? Ugly. Ugly question to ask yourself, because you don't want to hear the truth. Okay? How was I not committing to myself? And I realized I was not. I was not committed to my dreams through these 3 years of my relationship with him. I was not committed to my business through this entire 3 years of my relationship with him. I was not committed to my self-care routine through this relationship with him. I put a lot of emotional weight. Okay, thank you, Laura. I noticed in the very beginning of this video, you did say you lost a lot of weight. I appreciate that. Okay. And that was the reason why he was mirroring to me lack of commitment, because I was not committed to myself. See? So even in the most ugliest situations, you can still find something where actually people are mirroring something to you. Okay? At least one more question, and I will definitely finish up here because I did say it half an hour ago. I'm going to finish. The word narcissist that days is being thrown around often, I know. Do you think when a guy is being protective, like don't go to the bar with single girls dancing, can you call this a narcissist or insecure? Hold on. Do you think when a guy is being protective, like don't go to the bar with single girls dancing? Ah, okay. So not allowing his girl going to the club dancing by themselves. Can you call this a narcissist or insecure? Okay. It definitely could be protective. Okay. Guys by default are masculine partners in relationships. They are, of course, protectors. Okay. One is dominant, one is submissive. One is masculine, one is feminine. Okay. Masculine figure, dominant figure is always protective. Okay. And it's nice for a guy to take care of his girl, and it's nice for his guy to be protective. Okay. I wouldn't say it's a narcissistic, it's definitely insecure. Okay. Because, okay, typically it could be a good question to ask that woman, wife or girlfriend or whatever of this guy, why do you want to go to the club with other single girls? Okay. If that was something they were always doing, it's just their fun time, it's just something what they do, well, we can't expect our partners to change our lifestyles completely because of each other. We can only adjust, but we cannot completely swap. Okay. So if that was something they were doing before they met, then who is he to start controlling that behavior? That is definitely insecure, because probably what he is thinking, her girlfriend's a single, she's with me, if she goes with them, she's gonna find somebody else. Well, guess what? Let me tell you one thing. She doesn't have to go to the club to find somebody. She can be simply on her phone, flicking left, right, and center on a dating app, right next to you, in bed. As simple as that. Okay? So if that guy thinks going to the club is a hazard because she might meet somebody, that's insecure. Okay? If he thinks, what if something happens? What if, I know, somebody attacks her? It's normal. He's just being protective. He's worried about her. He knows how many crappy stories are out there about girls being poisoned or being given something to their drink and stuff like that. So he's just being protective. Okay? But if he's worried about her meeting somebody else in the club, I would tell him stop worrying, because she can actually meet somebody right next to you in bed on a dating app and have full-on relationship while she's next to you. And you're thinking she's such a good girl not going to the club, whereas actually she's having double life. So I would say if guy is insecure, or if a woman is insecure, it goes for both genders, by the way, okay? That's their problem. Okay, they have to fix it. Your partners should be never victims of your insecurities, your paranoias, your fears. Okay? Your partner should be never, never, never victims of that. Okay? One more. Oh, you keep me busy today. The point is not that I don't trust my girl, it's that I don't trust men in the bar. To put yourself in a situation where she can be approached by a drunk guy or being grabbed, that's what I don't trust. Okay, well, you cannot keep her in a bubble, that's for sure. If you want her to still have a quality of life and be out there and being with the girls and everything else, then teach her some self-defense mechanisms, right? Allow her to have her own life. You cannot keep her in a bubble. What if somebody breaks into your home? Right? There's stories like that. People breaking into homes and killing people at home. You don't have to go to the club. You don't have to go to the club to be attacked. You really don't. Okay? I trust the lock and alarm system on my car, but would I let a guy try to open it? I will sure act. Of course, I get it. Totally get it. Okay? But even that could be broken. The alarm, security, whatever. Okay? Things happen. Things simply happen. Okay? So here you go to really trust. If something breaks to my home, I'm there. What if you're not? What if it happens to be you're going to see your parents? What if I know you are sleeping? What if something? What if you're in a hospital? See, you don't trust. And the reason why I say you don't trust is you don't trust that everything will work out. You don't trust into the divine protection. You don't trust, as you said, guys doing something to your girl. Okay? God acts. I can't argue with that. Thanks. Finally. Okay? You got to trust that you're going to be protected. You got to trust that you're not the only one who can protect her, that she is protected. Okay? You got to trust the higher power. You got to trust the universe, whatever your faith religion is. Okay? Or if you're like me, just spiritual, not religious at all. Okay? You got to trust that everything will work out. And now going back, what did you say early on? You trust? Well, clearly you don't. Clearly you don't, because right now you're proving that, okay? You said yourself, I don't trust guys, okay? If you don't trust guys, what does it tell you about yourself? Okay, ask yourself that question. Okay, with this, I definitely will finish off because guess what? Half an hour ago, I said I will finish and I did not. So I better finish off now, okay? I really appreciate Laura, your participation, your questions, and your comments here. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And everybody else who's watching, because I could see more people were joining us. I get it. Not always you want to comment, that's fine, but I could see the number was growing and reducing and stuff like that. So please do let me know where you are watching us from. Okay, make sure you share this live with somebody else who will benefit from it. Okay, I definitely want to ensure that more people are educating themselves about relationships. Like saying, I don't trust guys in the bar hunting for girls. Sure. Yeah. Well, start trusting people more. That's it. Start trusting the fact that there are great guys who are not hunting for girls. There are people who will not be after you, girl. Okay? One last point, please. Well, before you say your last point, I'm going to say my last point. Okay? And my last point is stop being afraid to lose her because that's your real fear. It's not like somebody will attack you or grab her. It's not like a guy gonna come to her. You're afraid to lose her. When you're afraid to lose something, that means you feel insecure about yourself. That also means you don't feel you deserve it. I said what I said. Okay, what was the last point? Please believe in God, because I think He showed me the dreams I told to you about. You remember? Absolutely, yes. I remember those, and I do believe in higher power. Okay, the reason, and I'm not going to go into many explanations here. The reason why I say I'm not religious, because too many religions have blood on their hands. Okay, that's why I do believe in higher power. However we call it, that's regardless it exists. Okay, whether we call it God, Allah, universe, you name it, Buddha. Okay, that higher power exists. The reason why I refuse to be religious, because all religions have blood on their hands. Simple as that, okay? And I just refuse to be part of it. Simple as that. So that's why I prefer to refer to it as a higher power. Okay. So let's not go into being very religious. I really appreciate your participation here. Thank you so much, Luai. Just remember, it's your turn right now in your life to work on your own insecurities and to work on yourself and to ensure that you trust people. And right now, as you brought up God, in that case, trust God. Okay, trust God to protect your girl. Okay, but you got to work on your deservedness, because if you're afraid to lose somebody, that's because you don't feel you deserve it. Okay, that's because you think somebody else will take over that. Okay, well, it's time for you to believe that you deserve that. I really appreciate your kind words. Thank you, darling. You're the best. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. So, everybody else, thank you so much for watching this live and being with me here. I know it's been a long one. There's definitely a lot more information I can share about how to manifest your partner, how to attract him or her, right? Uh, Definitely important here to practice. Okay, so watch back this video, practice, practice, practice what was said today. Okay, and see magic happening. Okay, your partner is out there, your partner is there for you, but you got to attract and you got to allow that partner to come into your life. This is the most important thing. Okay, if your partner is still not there, If they're still not there, it's because you are not allowing yourself to have that relationship in your life. As simple as that. Just like with a job. If the job is not there, it's because you're not allowing yourself to have that. If that money is still not there, because you're not allowing yourself to have that money in your life. Okay? So it's time to start working on your relationship paradigms. It's time to start working on your relationship psychology and see what exactly holds you back from having a relationship of your dreams. Okay? What barriers are holding you back? Reach out to me. I'm more than happy to send you a relationship oracle. It will transform your life. Guaranteed. Thank you so much for watching this. Thank you so much for being here with me. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. Looking forward to hear from you, and also looking forward to hear where you're watching me from. And next Thursday, going to be myself and Cristina Davy, definitely less for an hour, talking about hot and spicy topic about relationships. And next one will be about gaslighting. Okay, we were supposed to talk about it today. We did not manage. But we'll talk next time about gaslighting. Okay, we're going to be addressing that. What is gaslighting? How to notice that, and how to address that. Okay, so join us next Thursday, 8 a.m. UK time, or well, it's going to be 3 a.m. in US. But around the world, we're going to be also keeping recording. Join us, learn with us, and also make sure you share this